What is up, loves? Happy Wednesday. So excited to be here with you all midday. I know a lot of you are busy behind the chair. I will catch you on the replay. Hope you're having a beautiful day in the salon. We're coming on today to talk about the Shadowban. Is that the buzzword of the season or what? If you haven't heard of it yet, I'm going to introduce you, but more than likely, you've heard people talking about it. You wonder what it is. There's rumors. Hi, Shelly Love. There's rumors. Is it even real? Is this a fake thing? Is there any proof? So we're going to uncover all that good stuff today. If you haven't checked it out already, hi Millie, you can head over to my blog at brittseva.com/blog. I also link to it in the description of this video. Head over and I dive deep in there too. So if you want to read more about it, you totally can. Also, if you haven't done so yet, there's also a link to join my free Facebook community just for hairstylists. It's nothing like you've ever seen before on Facebook. If you're tired of Facebook groups, I hear you. Your prayers have been answered. This is an incredible searchable resource guide that is building like crazy. You're going to love it. Hop in if you're not already in there. Let me introduce myself and then let's dive into Shadowban. My name is Britt and I'm a social media and marketing strategist just for hairstylists. So my goal is to make your life as a stylist a little bit easier, a little bit more organized, help you to spend your time and money in the right places, quit wasting it in the wrong places, so you can grow your clientele the quicker, faster, easier way using today's technology. Bunny, so glad to have you here, Suzette. It has never been easier to grow a clientele. You just have to use the tool at the hand to do so, and I'm here to share some of those things with you today. If you like what we're talking about, as always, you can give the Facebook thumbs up. Tap the screen, give me some hearts, and then let's keep the conversation rolling on this one because having you all in the house is my favorite part of Facebook Live, and it's also what's going to make this the most fun. So has anybody noticed, I want to say since the beginning of 2017, has anybody noticed a shift or a change in your Instagram account in the last, let's say, 5-6 months? And by that I mean less organic followers, definitely a drop in reach, less likes and comments per post. Suzette says, I'm getting bitten by the boogie of the shadow bands. I know, a lot of people are. And at first when the shadow band came out, people were like, oh, I don't think it's even real. And then people were like, oh my gosh, what happened to my life? Like there was this shocking kind of revelation that this is a very real thing. So if you feel like you've noticed that, you are not alone. So I am in quite a few, and by quite a few, I mean maybe half a dozen private Facebook groups for online educators, specifically within our hairstylist space. And there's been so many posts in there about like, you guys, what happened? And these are like big name Instagram educators who are like, what the heck is going on? Like, where's our reach? Where's our comments? Where's our likes? And people who really built their followings the right way are really feeling it. And so there's no doubt about it that it's happening. Tracy says in the last few weeks, yeah. So let's go back for a second and talk about what the Shadowban is and how this all started. So there was chatter as early as January, actually, that it started in the photography space. The photographers who also use Instagram to build in the same way that we do, very similar, noticed that their hashtags weren't always searchable. And you know what a hashtag is, right? It's like this, and you can do hashtag terms on Instagram that are essentially search terms. And if you search for like hashtag Olaplex on Instagram, let's say, anybody who's used that hashtag in their comments or with their photo, those would come up. Hashtags are essentially search terms on Instagram. So photographers, seems to be where this started, noticed that they'd put in a hashtag and it wouldn't show up in the searchable bank. And they thought it was strange. Started back in January. In end of February, it started becoming more public. In March, it started becoming widely known. End of February, Instagram released a statement, and it became a very real thing. It was named Shadowban. To me, it could be named algorithm, and it's the exact same thing. So we're calling it the Shadowban, and what happens is certain hashtags are banned on Instagram. That's not new news. Inappropriate things, spammy things, abusive hashtags have always been banned. That's not new. We're talking very normal words, local words, popular search terms within specific industries. So what Instagram has decided is they've figured out the game. They have figured out that instead of using hashtags the way they're intended to be used, so hashtags are intended to be niche down search terms, they're using it in a small group to become searchable in the local community or within a very specific area. But instead, people are using things like, I don't want to use any of our industry terms. I'm going to use hashtag Olaplex. Oh, no. Let's use hashtag balayage. Have you guys ever searched for hashtag balayage? There's hundreds of thousands of posts using that hashtag. Instagram finds that to be spammy. So when you're using hashtags that are uber popular, where it's not even like a search term anymore, that can be deemed as spammy, as forcing yourself out into the feed versus like, I am a local hairstylist and I want to be found by local followers. Now, what hashtags are deemed spammy? We don't know. And I'm going to read you the quote from Instagram in a minute, but they've been very vague about, they have their own private list of hashtags that we don't have access to of what they're choosing to ban here and there and why they're choosing to do it and when they're choosing to do it. And I'm totally okay with that. Because what I think is the goal with Facebook and Instagram is to create a platform where the user's experience is the #1 priority. Where you can't beat the system, you have to play the game fairly. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? You have to play the game fairly, and you can't cheat it. And so they're trying to eliminate all the cheats. So people who were doing 30 hashtags, and then in the comments doing another 30 hashtags, and then in the comments doing another 30. Do you guys know that people were putting 90 hashtags on a post? That's considered abusive and spammy. You can't do that. And because some people were doing that, now we as a whole are getting punished. So call it the shadow ban if you want to. The reason why it's being called that is because it is a ban that Instagram is acknowledging exists, but they are being very vague about exactly what's going on and what the terms are, hence the name shadow. So this is Instagram's statement on the shadow ban. So they are acknowledging that it is a thing. However, I'm just going to read you the first little bit. If you want to read it in full, you can head to my blog, head to brittseva.com/blog. Tony says, I don't even know 90 hashtags, right? What are these people even hashtagging? Head to my blog and you can read their statement in full. But it says, we understand users have experienced issues with our hashtag search that cause posts not to be surfaced. We are continuously working on improvements to our systems with the resources available. That's all they have to say. And that last line to me is so poignant. We are continuously working on improvements to our system with resources available. Maybe to them, by banning certain hashtags, that is a systems improvement. In no way did they say, we're trying to fix this, we're trying to make the hashtags more searchable. They're saying, we're always trying to improve our system. And to them, we know that algorithms are an improvement, right? Because it's impacting the user experience in a way that's meant to be favorable. Tracy says they can fix what they want to, and I totally agree. If this were a glitch, which is I see what some people trying to say, like, oh, it's a glitch. Listen, do you think Instagram and Facebook are stupid? Do you think if they have some kind of tech glitch that's been going on for 4 months, they wouldn't have figured it out by now? I have a hard time believing that. So I think that statement says a lot. I think it says they're acknowledging it and they're doing their best to improve the user experience as much as possible. The statement goes on to share what they consider to be a good Instagram account. So I do think it's worth a read. If you head to brittseva.com/blog, you can read it because they are very clear about what they deem to be a good account. What they're vague on is what they deem to be a poor account. Okay, so I want to talk about what they deem to be spammy. So like I said, and they openly say in the statement, don't be spammy, don't be inappropriate, use your page as a professional business portfolio. They say all these kind of things. What exactly is spammy? They don't detail it. And like I said before, I'm okay with that because I think what would happen is if they said, these are the new rules, we as the people would find all the loopholes to all those rules and new ways to break them, which is not okay. So instead they're saying, these are the rules, just follow them. If you mess up, you're banned. Just follow the good rules and you'll be okay. Don't try and find loopholes in the poor ones, if that makes sense. So, spammy or broken hashtags are a quick way to get banned. There are some hashtags that are public. A lot of them are not. I will tell you how to check your account at the end, and you might be surprised by what I say. But so just be careful of the hashtags that you use. If you use the same hashtags over and over, it is not, they didn't make a statement on this, but some people have tested the shadow ban. And if you are an account where in the notes section of your phone, you're like, well, these 20 hashtags are great. So I'm going to just copy these hashtags and paste them into my Instagram post every single time I do a post. I used to do that for sure. I don't hashtag anymore, but I used to do that. In my notes section, I'd have a list of all the hashtags I like to use. And then every time I went to do an Instagram post, I would just copy and paste. Instagram doesn't like that. So while they haven't made a statement about that, those who have been testing the Instagram ban or shadow ban find that those who repeat the same hashtags over and over, it can be considered spammy because what Instagram wants you to do is create custom hashtags every single time you do a post so that post can be seen by those who would appreciate it the most, right? Because their goal is to have the best user experience possible. So they're saying if you're posting a variety of photos and trying to grow as a business, why would you use the same 15 hashtags every single time? I can make an argument for why you would do it. So I understand what's running through your mind, but that seems to be a trigger. So that doesn't mean you can't use the same hashtags. You just need to get a little bit smarter, and you can't use the same hashtags on every single post. So maybe instead of having a list of 20, have a list of 50 and think a little bit more, and then mix in different ones every single time you post. So that would be a good workaround for that, but the copy and paste method's not going to cut it anymore. Using bots or buying followers, I'm not going to get into what a bot is. If you don't know what it is, perfect. If you've invested in a bot, you know what I'm talking about, you need to cancel because they're looking for that kind of behavior. As far as buying followers, Instagram is not stupid, and they've been monitoring accounts for an estimated about 18 months. And they're looking for surge behavior. That's been mentioned too. So a surge would be a bunch of new followers come in all at one time, right? If I have 1,000 followers today and by next week I have 2,500, wouldn't it be pretty unusual if I gained 1,500 followers in a week? It wouldn't if I was buying followers, but if I was trying to build organically, it would be highly unusual. That's something that could get you shadow banned. So when people say like, oh, you can't get your whole account shadow banned, it's just individual posts, they're not going to shut down your account, but what they're going to do is limit your reach on everything. So it's an organic reach filter, which is why I say the term shadow ban to me is like putting a Band-Aid on the fact that a new algorithm is in play. Because it's not just hashtags, it's way bigger than that. Be wary of pods. So if you don't know what pods are, it's when a group of, I said in my blog Stylist, but pods exist in all industries. You and 15 of the people you work with get together and you're like, hey, how about every time I do an Instagram post, you like it and comment it. Every time you do an Instagram post, I'll like it and comment. And all 15 of us will all like and comment on each other's posts so that it'll boost our organic reach, right? Because the algorithm favors posts that are getting likes, comments, shares, tags, right? So you think, okay, well, if a small group of us get together and like, comment, and share tag on each other's posts, wouldn't that be great? It'll boost us into the feed. Again, Instagram isn't stupid, and they realize, oh, would you look at that? The same 30 people comment every single time. And then there's some other scattereds that do here and there too, but it's the same few people every single time. They figured it out. And that to them is dishonest. So not a fan of that. And that's also considered surge behavior. So be careful of that. They basically just want Instagram to be organic, how it was before. Can you see how everything I'm naming is like a cheat and a loophole? Pods, buying followers, using bots, abusing hashtags. Those are all things that became this like norm that never should have. And all they're trying to do is take back control of the platform. Using auto post services, I did list this on here because they did publicly say you can't do it. I would be shocked if anybody here was using an auto post service. Something like Hootsuite that organizes your posts for you is not an auto post service. Anybody who's tried to use Hootsuite before, there's a dozen of these organizers where you can upload your social media content, save it in a calendar, and then what will happen is the app will send you a notification and say, hey, Britt, looks like you wanted to post this Instagram post today. Would you like to go ahead and do it? And then I would have to manually go in and post that. So that's not an auto post. That's a scheduling tool, and Instagram is totally okay with that. But there are some very strangely named apps. I'd imagine none of you are using them, where literally it will post the content for you, forced content. They don't want that either. They don't want your Instagram to run on autopilot. They want you to do a little bit of work. So how to know if you're shadow banned? There are some very sketchy looking apps to me that you can run your account through to see if it's been shadow banned. I didn't even link to them in the article because I don't know how real they are. There's maybe half a dozen, and what happens is you go to one of these apps and you add in your Instagram name, and it will search your profile or search a specific post and say that if it's been flagged. How they know that, I have no idea. And it seems spotty, and it's hard to tell if it's legit or not. So they might work, and you can certainly search for like shadow ban check tool or something like that. I can't say that that's an accurate thing. I just know that those exist. One way you can check is by, if you're going to do a self-check, you can you can make an Instagram post, do your normal hashtags, whatever those may be. Log out of your Instagram account and log back in with an alternative account, or use your partner's account or whatever to look at the post that you just made and click through your hashtags and see if you show up in the search in them. And the way that the shadow ban works is if one of your hashtags is banned, the whole of them are, for the most part. So if you don't show up on one, you probably won't show up in the other. The other thing is, shadow ban is not just a hashtag thing. It is a play by the rules if you want to be favored in the algorithm thing. I'm actually not anti-algorithm. I think that the algorithms have forced people to step up their game. And so now you need to start posting stuff that your audience actually likes. And I just don't think that's a bad thing. I think it sucks that Instagram is maybe being a little bit sneaky and not coming out and just saying it. But the fact that a new algorithm is coming into play, I feel like that was a natural progression. And it's only just begun, right? The algorithms are going to keep getting stronger. But I don't want you to freak out about this. I don't want you to panic about it. Just remember how Instagram is supposed to be used. You're supposed to upload a beautiful picture that's well composed with incredible lighting, have a really engaging comment below, use a few hashtags that are very relevant to the photo and not just like, I hope I'm featured in a modern salon, like really relevant hashtags. You see what I mean by that? And then you'll do just fine. Tag your clients, have them share to their friends, do all the things that you should be doing anyway, and you'll see a lot of success. Suzette says, but they're only banned for 24 to 48 hours total. Yes, not forever, right? Yes, but think about the lifespan of an Instagram post. It's generally only a few hours. So once your Instagram post hits the feed, Instagram is instantly looking at it to see if it gains traction. Likes, tags, comments, shares is essentially traction. So it's looking to see if any of that picks up. The more time that goes on, that it's getting slow likes, slow comments, no comments, it slowly fades out of the feed. And that process is generally not even 24 hours. So yes, you're only banned from that specific picture for 24 to 48 hours, but that is the prime time. So you're going to lose all that reach on all that prime time of that photo. The other thing is, and it's all accumulative, right? Because every time you post a photo that does poorly, it hurts your algorithm a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. So if you do just one photo that gets banned, so it doesn't get likes, comments, shares, tags, it hurts your algorithm. So it's a bigger issue because it's like, yeah, it's just one incident, right? It's just one warning, but it keeps adding on. It's like your DMV record, right? It's just 1 point on my record, but then you have 17 points and you can't drive for the rest of your life. It's cumulative. So think of it like that too. This has been crucial for me. Thanks for sharing. You're so welcome, love. Somebody else, I think Rodney had a question. Rodney says, so don't like and comment on friends or limit liking your friends' posts. No, like your friends' post. Be a real person. Okay, so this is where commenting and liking goes wrong. So there is this thing in the industry, in our industry, I'm going to be real and honest about it, where a lot of stylists are showing each other lots of love on Instagram. And I love that because I think our community is amazing. But if you are just banking on love from other stylists, what's happening is you're telling your algorithm, stylists like my work. And Instagram will say, that is so awesome. We will make sure to force your photos out in front of other stylists. And they will make zero effort to force your photos out in front of your clients. So you need to make a choice as to if you're going to use the platform to connect with guests and personal friends, like Rodney said, or connect with clients. And it doesn't mean that you don't connect with stylists. You do that too, but it has to be like a balance, right? Like be normal. So don't just like other stylists, like other stylist pages, like your clients' pages. And that's the thing with social media, right? Is be social. And if all you're doing is going and liking pictures of other stylists' work, you're telling Instagram, I'm here to connect with other stylists. I'm into other stylist stuff. That's what I'm here for. So it's trying to do you a favor by putting you out in front of other stylists and not pushing you out in the organic reach to get new clients to you because you're telling it that's not what you want. So definitely engage with your friends and your personal connections and all of those kind of things and your clients, absolutely. Chelsea said, the people you follow determining what your content is forced to, 100%. Instagram takes it all into account. It's who you follow, it's who follows you, it's who likes and comments on your picture, it's everything. It's the entire picture. So that's why it's very important to use the platform wisely. We do talk about using Instagram wisely in Thriver Society, and in Thrivers 2.0, it's going to be even better. So excited. But I hope this is shed a little bit of light on the shadow ban. I don't want you to be scared of it. I just want you to think of it as Instagram is refining their algorithm. They want you to continue playing nice and don't use it spammy. Use it the way it was intended to be used when it first was put out and when we were just posting pictures and using smart local hashtags and commenting and being normal people. Let's get back to basics, guys. So I hope that this has helped a little bit, shed a little bit of light. Head to brittseva.com/blog to learn a little bit more. I've also linked to my private Facebook group if you're not in there yet. So much love to you guys. Happy Wednesday. I'll see you later this week. Bye, loves.